Hello, I'm Tibor Solnoki from Graphisoft, and in the next 20 minutes I would like to talk about how the digital solutions transform the architectural design practice. Are you familiar with these images? Because I am. I used to be an architect before I joined Graphisoft, and it was absolutely normal for us to have these sleepless nights before we had to deliver the project. And I think it's still the case. However, in the past 15 years, I see a major change in how architecture design is delivered to customers. And this is what I would like to talk about. Here at Graphisoft, we have a great experience of working with digital solutions and helping architecture. So in the next couple of slides, I would like to show you some user case studies that what we see, what are the latest directions in architecture and how we can help those solutions. One of them is obviously design freedom. This is the bread and butter of architecture. Being creative and how we can help that is absolutely essential for the success of our customer. And the first customer story is from Australia, Fender Katsalidis. And this particular building is the Merdeka Tower, which will be the second largest tower in the world when it's constructed. So obviously it is hugely complex and it requires a very stable digital solution to support it. And these customers, Fender Katsalidis, they were using ArchiCAD along the entire life cycle of the design. And I'd just like to show you a short video. If you go to our website, you can read more about this very nice customer story. But the idea here is that without BIM, and without ArchiCAD, which they were used, it was almost impossible to achieve such a complex design in such a short time. So here you can see, for instance, the curtain wall tool, which is one of the most capable tool of ArchiCAD, the level of details that you can achieve, and also how the output deliverables can be automatically created from BIM. So I think today BIM is taken for granted, but it's still, I would like to remind you that that was a major breakthrough in the architectural design in collaboration and in architectural design productivity gain. So the next slide also highlights another important aspect of this project and also an important aspect of the architectural design in general, and that is collaboration between the architectural teams. And this is extremely important in these days when we are in pandemic still. We have to work from home, we have to work remotely. So without a proper collaboration solution, such complex design are not achievable. They are not able to achieve such complex products. So here is this chart explains how this particular project was done. So we have a great solution called BIM Cloud, which is a cloud-based collaboration system for ArchiCAD users. But the key message here is that it's open. So it's open for other 5 formats. It's open for all stakeholders, and they can all work together in a very, very stable and very capable design environment. Let's switch to another interesting aspect of contemporary architecture, parametric design or algorithmic design. So there are many names for it, but it's about also expanding the design freedom and also to create better architecture, great architecture. And Graphisoft has been supporting these kind of design directions from a long time. For instance, I can mention the GDL language, which is our parametric object language. And in this example from Russia, this parametric design technology is used to compare different design alternatives. It also leads to another topic, which is prefabrication. So contemporary architecture is leaning towards standardized solutions, and parametric languages like GDL is great to describe these predefined building structures. So here, as you can see, there are different design variations compared on this facade using the GDL language. However, these requires almost like a scripting mindset. However, architects are more leaning towards architecture and creativity and being visual. So to help architects to comply with scripting, we introduced a visual solution, a visual scripting solution called Paramo. And with these visual simple tools, you can create highly parametric components, for instance, this partition wall. So the great idea here is that even those who are not familiar with scripting, they can create highly parametric elements in a very easy to learn visual style. And of course, this solution is fairly similar to what Rhino and Rhino Grasshopper is doing, and we have a great collaboration with them. So the next example is from Italy. This was made for a competition, and it also illustrates that this parametric algorithmic design with Rhino, Grasshopper, and ArchiCAD is not just for the design itself, but it's also for making the buildings better performing. So here they're using different API additions to Rhino, Grasshopper and in ArchiCAD to experiment with the best shading solutions, the best performing shading systems. So I think it's really nice and really challenging or really engaging for architects to think about what is possible with these parametric solutions. Here you can see the actual Rhino script and also the Grasshopper code, and finally how it's converted directly to ArchiCAD components, and at the end of the day the schedules were made out of the box. So that's just a short illustration. Of course, I highly encourage you to dig deeper into the possibilities of algorithmic design. Next is coordination between different disciplines. So architecture and creation of buildings and facilities is a highly it requires highly coordinated workflows between different parties. And this is the workflow that we also believe in. We call it OpenBIM. And there is a recent example of this kind of collaboration from Hungary. So this is our main new stadium, the Puskás Stadium, and Kösti, the architects, were using effectively this collaboration between different disciplines. So this is just a very simple chart explaining the concept. So structural MEP and coordination has been done in the most suitable tool. But at the end of the day, these models have been brought together in one model so that we can run different analysis, collision detection, and so on. Here is just one illustration. For example, for this particular stadium, the most challenging part was the roof, and for this highly complex roof was done with Tekla structures. However, the base structure, the concrete structure, was done in ArchiCAD. And then at the end of the day, they brought them together in ArchiCAD for a federated model, and they run all kind of analysis solutions on them. For instance, model checking with Tekla BIM site, and the results have been sent directly to ArchiCAD. So the list of all the issues could be taken care of later on in both Tekla and ArchiCAD. Another very important advantage of working with a model and working with a BIM model is early on cost estimation. So in this particular case, VCO Trimble has been used to get a basic understanding of the costs of different components and overall the building owners had a better control and better understanding of cost efficiency of the building. There are some very interesting use of BIM as well, and this is the beauty of OpenBIM. So using IFC or other open file formats, we can send our models to any application. So for example, here this is an evacuation simulation software called Pathfinder, and the goal here was to comply with safety standards, but also to understand how the entire building will perform. Another important aspect of working with highly complex facilities and many models and lots of documentation is how all the stakeholders can access this information. And we at Graphisoft provide a a very easy-to-use mobile solution called BIMX. So with this, even on an iPad, you can open the entire project, all the documentation. Even on the construction site, you can explain and understand each and every part of the building. You can zoom in, you can access the proper documentation, and which is even more important, you can communicate with the design team. So whatever is happening here is that you can send messages from the construction site to the architects while they are sitting in the office. So that leads to a way much higher and a way more closer collaboration between all the design stakeholders. Right, so next one is a very interesting topic. This is about speed and performance, but not just the application performance, but the performance of the entire project workflow. So we provide, and also other BIM manufacturers now working towards providing great workflow solutions with automation. One of our most successful customers in Asia is called IDEA. They are based in Philippines. They have been fine-tuning their design processes and design workflows for more than 10 years. And this is one of their special solutions that they came up with. So this is a custom API with which, with a single push of the button, they can generate all the drawings, all the outputs from the BIM model. So what they have to do is create the BIM model according to their company standards, and if that's done properly, this API will make sure that all the drawing names, the drawing numberings, placing the drawings on the layouts is done automatically. It's really amazing. It's a huge productivity boost, and it's not just faster, but it also makes sure that the company design standards are met every time they create a new project. So a very interesting direction. Obviously, this requires some coding because this was done with C++ API. But just recently, Graphisoft introduced other more easily accessible languages like JSON and Python. So with that, you can also create similar solutions. Or another interesting experiment that they are using at IDEA is the so-called virtual prototyping or VR Studio Cave. So since more than 5 years, they already have this VR cave where the clients can have a better understanding of the design by using VR glasses and fully immersive environment and understanding how the building will look like, how the interior spaces will perform. Right, now finally, to close my presentation, it's from the design, I would like to shift towards the entire life cycle of the building, because that's where the real value of BIM is lying. So this chart illustrates the Nemetschek Group's vision of how building life cycles should be managed in the future. So as you can see, it's really not just about the planning, but it's also about the construction and even more about the operation and management of the building. And there's a very nice example of this approach from Australia, from Brisbane. It is called the Queen's Wharf project, which is a more than $3.5 billion US dollar or Australian dollar project. A highly complex project, and here they used all kind of Nemetschek solutions together to make sure that the building and the building design, the construction, and the entire management is done properly. So if I just open this video, you will have a better understanding how complex this facility is. And here you can see that at the backbone of the design was ArchiCAD, so that's where all the models have been brought together. Obviously, they had their company libraries, company templates, and so on. So here you can see some curtain wall examples. But all the other designers were sending their IFC models to Solibri, which is a great solution for collision checking and building analysis. Plus, they will also using this solution, which is called Bluebeam, which is a PDF-based documentation management revisioning system. And finally, D-Rufus was used for asset management in the building. So these are just a few solutions that they use. These are all Nemetschek products, but at the end of the day, they were able to work together very well due to this open nature of ArchiCAD and all the other Nemetschek products as well. So it was really just a brief introduction to where the industry is going and how Graphisoft can help you. I wish you a great conference. I hope you will enjoy. So this was just some food for thought. If you want to learn more, please visit our website. Thank you.